going on, gentlemen? It's Mark Sparks, and I'm here with Roxanne, Talia, and Veronica. I'm asking right off the bat, y'all smell good. What's up with that? Women always, y'all smell so sweet. What is that? How do you do that?
We're supposed to. We're supposed to.
Yeah.
What about guys who, like, is that a big thing? Should we smell good and feel good?
You guys have a scent, though. You guys have a natural
I'm
scent.
a huge fan of cologne. Like, if you
Oh, yeah?
smell
Yeah.
good, it turns me on kind of thing. Like, it takes it to the next level.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Like, good breath and smelling good are just
For
good.
me, it's a natural scent. It's like if you smell like you just had a shower and like the fresh breath. And like I said, guys like have this natural scent that I'm really attracted to. Too much cologne, like if you're in a club and you can smell the guy like on the opposite side of the bar, it's just like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
not
a
cool.
turn off.
It's not
Like,
cool.
if you took a bath
No?
in cologne.
yeah.
Top 3 things that you need a guy to be, have, smell, do, in order to be like, that's
Cologne, fresh breath, and just like clean. You know, as long as it doesn't look like you just rolled out of bed and you have drool or any of that stuff.
No, fresh breath is a big thing.
Yeah.
You can't be talking up in a girl's face smelling like, you know? It's not sexy.
No, that is yeah, definitely.
I want you to
fresh
tell me the story about the guy that did that.
No, but like some guys, like they think they're slick, right? And they try to like whisper in your ear.
Hey, baby,
and then you're just smelling the bad breath. Like, it's not gonna work.
It's just not
gonna work.
happening.
So he's, a guy's a 10 on whatever your scale is. Confident, funny, but if you don't smell good,
It brings them down.
Yeah.
No, it's a turn on.
Like, think of it this way. If a guy's passing by and they smell good, then you'll turn around, they'll get your attention, and once you get to know them, you'll find out if they are confident. But, like, the smell will attract you even if you haven't even spoken yet.
For me, it's like it's the fact that if they're doing it, like I said, women, like we do these things for ourselves, and I think guys find that attractive, and it works both ways. If a guy is looking good and fresh and clean, you know, then like you know that he's doing it for him, and that is really sexy.
okay.
Yeah.
So then I asked this, and this is, I'm going to jump into this because we're talking about grooming. But guys are talking about clipping chest hair, underarm hair, the hair around their...
Manscaping.
In other words.
Manscaping. Is that a plus, or is that a pro con?
It's a pro, I think. Yeah. Cleaner is better.
I think if it's under control, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's under control.
If a guy's clean trimmed, are you more likely or less likely? We're talking about oral, because I know as a guy, when a woman is clean down there, and
Yeah.
like you said, smelling good, because if I go down on a woman and I'm like, it's game's over.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
would
know.
hope so.
Some people maybe put another quarter in, but so is that kind of the equivalent for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't necessarily have like a personal preference, but if it's under control and you're clean and like, yeah, like what girl doesn't? Like the second her boyfriend gets out of the shower, like.
Yeah. The cleaner is better. Like, just like the guy would prefer it, then I think the girl would also prefer it.
Okay. And, I'm going backwards. Sex, is that something that you talk about with someone that clearly you're having sex with? Is that something you talk about? And how do you bring it up? During sex? After sex?
Probably during like a casual, like during the day, like you would bring it up. Because if you bring it up after, then it might leave the person self-conscious. If you bring it up before, then you might not end up getting it that night, you know?
Yeah.
So like if you play it safe, like during lunch, then, during the day they'll forget about it, and then they'll know by nighttime.
Yeah, I find that like also when you're getting to know someone, just getting to know them, you're gonna say how you feel about sex and about
you get a
like
vibe,
and
too.
I'm not one to hear like a guy's his every past experience, but like I think it's good to bring up like what you enjoy and what you don't and how you
Right.
are, and every girl is different. If a girl's really fun loving and carefree, she's probably the same in bed.
Yeah.
Right,
and about the situation.
Right.
So I think it's reading the situation, and as you get to know the person, I think a lot of those things do come up.
Oh, yeah.
How early is it, or when is it too early for a guy to start using sexual innuendos? And I ask that, like, meaning, when I meet a girl, when you talk to her, you want to be cool, you want to be friends, okay, we get that, but I don't want to be your friend. So
I think when you know that it's mutual, when it's clear that there's flirting going on, but for me at least, I'll start using them then.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. I don't want to like knock girls or anything like that, but like sometimes like we try to play it slick, right? Like we don't want it, but we do, but we're waiting on you to say something and we want it. So See, the thing is,
we're nice.
I'm mean.
I'm
mean.
I'm very straightforward. So.
it's like we want you to know without us having to tell you.
And we don't know. So I need to know what it is that you know so that we can know.
I just like having them around my finger. Like, it's what I'm mean, like that
Yeah.
way. Like, I would never, like, if I'm in a relationship, obviously, I'm not going to be like that. That's just bad. But when I'm, when I'm into a guy, when there is flirting and stuff like that, I can be, I play it really, really slick like that. And just if I know I have you, then I'm going to start
Being less slick.
games.
Okay. I want to get your number. You're standing in a club, the three of you, looking hot, and I'm here. How do I succeed?
I guess when that does happen to me, I'm always, it'll be the guy that at the end of the night, like that you've had a connection, you lock eyes, maybe you're dancing a little bit, maybe their friends are getting along with your friends. If they're the person that you've kind of kept, have that energy throughout the night, that's usually if a guy is like at the end of the night, like, oh, can I get your number? Or, usually I take their number. So I don't give mine. I like to have that. So,
like to be in control.
Like, no, but I'll say that if a guy's like, "Can I get your number?" I'm like, "No, I'll take yours." I don't give mine out, but for sure, like, definitely, it's always for me at the end of the night. If they ask right away,
Do you take a number if you're not going to call?
No.
I do that.
Yeah.
No,
Why?
I do that just
Why?
I
mean,
for me,
whatever.
Don't lead them on. I just.
well, I don't know. It's because I don't want to feel bad, and I don't want to like hurt their feelings in a way. So I'll be like, yeah,
You're so nice.
I'll call you. But in my head, I'm like, I'm not calling you, but I'm gonna tell you I'm calling you. So it's on you. It's on you to sit there and wait for the phone call.
oh my gosh,
So
I guess we're all different.
Very much so. I like that. And you don't lead guys on?
No, like if I'm not interested and if I clearly see it's not going to go anywhere, I'm just like, no. Like I'm not going to give a person hope or anything like that. Like I think that would be even meaner, to say you're going to call and then you don't call.
The best,
I go off my vibe though. Say like if I have the number, and then
Like,
2
well, if
weeks,
I'm
3 weeks go
bored.
by, and then I'm like, okay, what's Billy saying today?
Yeah.
I literally call him up.
That is true. That is true. No, I had a guy that I wasn't that interested in, and I had his number, and like a few weeks went, like I think a couple weeks went by, and I did call him, and it ended up being great. So
3-day rule. And you said a few weeks, because everyone always hears about this 3-day rule. It's on everything.
Yeah.
So you give me your number. Am I supposed to, what if I call you, like you give me your number at lunchtime. What if I call you at 8 o'clock? Is that creepy? Hey, I just wanted to say what's up, see if we can get together sometime this week. Is that weird?
I don't think so. It depends. If there's like an interest, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? But if I'm not really interested, I'd be like, oh, desperate.
yeah.
Yeah, so it really depends.
But if a guy calls and he's confident, and he's like, just it was great running into you, and I know you're really really
free
busy,
next
kind of
week?
like
Yeah.
what's up next week, and he's really if he's chill about it and really.
Easygoing about it.
Yeah, then it's kind of like, yeah, for sure, no problem. But if he's like, yeah, so you know,
Yeah, that's
cool.
so true.
It
It's such a huge difference.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, can I have your number? No, I don't give up my number.
My boyfriend wouldn't like that very much. I use that one a lot.
What if I said, look, I know you're probably not, but
That's usually the rebuttal. They're like, well, we can just be friends.
Here's my number. What do you say? What do you think about that guy now that you just said that? What do you think about him?
I'm a
Or we could just be friends. Here's my number.
If a guy says we can just be friends, here's my number, I'll be like, okay, that's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well, I actually would take the number. I'd be like, yeah, well, we could just be friends. And then I judge it, like, to see if he actually just wants to be friends, which most of the times he doesn't. But, like,
I gotta
you know.
give you guys points for that.
Yeah.
whole, let's be friends. We know the deal. We know the deal.
We know it.
That's like the nicest and slickest thing to say, right?
Right.
Let's be friends, but.
But if a guy said to me, he's like, hey, can I get your number? I'm like, oh, I have a boyfriend, thanks. And he's like, oh, no, I understand, that's cool, but here's my number. And he was really kind of confident about it. I kind of go, like, you guys can plant little seeds in our head. Don't think that you're
it
not.
creates interest.
Right.
Yeah, don't think that we don't track things,
Right.
little things. For sure we track it.
So we've had a great time. We've been hanging out. Before I ask you, hey, I know the night's about to get out of here. I'm about to get out of here with my boys. Can I get your name so I can hit you up on Facebook? What do you think?
Me, I'm not about this Facebook thing, so that's just not gonna work for me.
I don't mind about Facebook. Facebook is so, like, open, and I add everybody, so it's just, I don't even think anything of it.
So do I go up or down on your attraction level when I'm like, hey,
Oh, it's
can we-
almost neutral. Like it doesn't even count really.
It's kind of a cop-out though. If there was chemistry throughout the night and they said, can I like hit you up on Facebook? I'd be like, why don't you be a man and get my number? You know, so you got to read the situation.
I actually wouldn't mind the Facebook ad because you can like creep. Like get to see what they're like all about.
Facebook. So you,
all
there it
about.
is.
I'd be like,
That is
oh,
true.
so that's what he's really like. Okay, maybe
Women
I'll
are
get his number now.
PIs. Yeah. Oh, so you'd say, okay. So let me ask you this now. So you meet a dude, you call him a couple times, and inevitably you end up on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now, do you go? You just said you creep. So
Yeah.
are you gonna go look for photos? Like, will you start
Well, I'm
creating a
just
profile
curious,
with him?
like what the info is. Like,
Yeah, I like to. Yeah, because then you can see like.
like a background check.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a. It is like an easy background check. No, and I told a friend of mine. She started dating a guy who she met. I think it was Plenty of Fish or something. And I was
Yeah.
like, you gotta Google this guy and then like check his Facebook. I'm like, always do it. And no, every guy I've dated I've Googled because you never know. And this guy ended up being an ex-convict. So.
Oh, wow.
You got and.
You saved her life.
No, but it's like she dated him for a while and then like she got some. She's like, there are a few like flags that I'm a little concerned about, and I'm like,
that's
maybe you
kinda
should
like
Google
a-
him. And it was big. It was a big deal. So I was kind of like,
That was quite interesting.
but the Facebook is
I
good.
think the Facebook is
yeah.
so common. Everybody just adds
It's
everybody
really
on
chill
Facebook.
and really relaxed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like whatever.
Like
Some
I wouldn't
people
really
are.
judge a person off it.
Yeah, and you know what though? There are those guys that like. They have like smaller group of friends and they're very, maybe like they're not on it as often and there's certain things that they share about themselves they know and you kind of like, for me that's really attractive. I don't know why. And then it's the ones that are like on it all day while they're at work and you're just like, it can be a bit of a turnoff,
Right.
So it is. I think you can tell a lot about a person from their Facebook page.
Okay, so relationships now. Let's talk about you in a relationship with somebody. What's something that a guy, what can we do to keep you invested in the relationship? Like I need some science. Give me some science. Like we're dating for a little while, and we're getting to that point where it's not new anymore, whatever that means.
Yeah.
What do we do to
I think
keep you?
at that point in the relationship, that because everyone's like, oh, the honeymoon period's over. I think that can be bullshit. Like, I look at my parents and they're great role models because they're so passionately in love with each other after so many years. So that's been my, what I've been expecting out of relationships.
Yeah.
So I think that if you go about it the right way, that doesn't have to end, but there's a comfort that goes into it, right? So if a guy can kind of keep that alive, that's that little spark that should be there. I think that I don't think it ever goes away if it's the right
Right.
person. So if they can keep that alive, I don't need much. I don't need you to buy me diamonds and take me out all the time, but yeah.
Well, I think like doing those unexpected romantic things are always essential though.
Like what?
Especially like after 3 years or something, like roses or notes or we're gonna go out of town for this weekend. Trying different things like sexually or like different places to travel or meeting new couples. Just things like that to change things around,
Yeah, it
because
doesn't
it
have to be
can
much.
get kind of boring after. Yeah, I think it's work. Like it's just.
Yeah, and like you said, like I think a guy who can keep up sexually too is really, really important. Like,
Oh yeah.
Keep up.
Or changing things around.
Yeah, like
I don't know what
anything.
keep up means. That's why.
Entertained.
Yeah, like maybe not just
What, you want me to
entertain, but
dance while we? Hey, girl. Like what's?
no, but like you can stay adventurous and like girls have a high sex drive and like you can keep up with how often we want to have sex and what we want to experiment with. That's definitely attractive, and I think in a relationship it can keep it really like alive because sex is a huge part of a relationship.
And I totally think that's the same thing. And what happens is with guys is we don't know. And I said, keep up. What does that mean? We don't know what that means.
See, the main thing with something like that is you just need to communicate. See what's common with both you guys and just keep at it.
That's a great point. As long as you keep the communication going,
Yeah.
everything is smooth sailing.
I find usually sometimes like if you've been with someone for like more than 3 years or something, the romance or the foreplay tends to die out, and it's kind of like you just do it and then it's over.
Love
And
the
usually
foreplay.
like when you first start dating someone, that's the part that like is always there because
Yeah.
they actually work for it.
Right.
So sometimes when that dies out, they don't think about it. So, and I think it's a huge
Well, what's
thing
foreplay
for
for
girls.
you? And I'm sorry to, what's foreplay? Because for guys, it might be like, okay, it's
I
over.
don't know, from what I know of myself and other girls, and maybe everyone's different.
have a- yeah.
But kissing is huge.
Yeah, that's
like huge. It's such a turn on, and if you do it right, it's like yeah.
Or just like certain places where you might kiss.
Yeah.
Or even like caressing or the massages or like.
When you say certain places, do you mean certain physical places, or do you mean like kiss you while we're at the grocery store?
No, physical. Like you said.
No, I'm
like
just
with
saying.
the ears or the neck or behind the neck or the legs or like stuff like that. Because guys don't, or they forget to do those things after a couple of years.
Yeah,
Right.
and
They
it's like
think
you
it's
can still
something so
explore
small.
us. We're still here.
So when is it okay to fall asleep after sex?
Is it okay? I think it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What did you say?
To fall asleep after sex?
No. Cool.
She said, what did you say?
Like
said
me,
it.
like I like to like cuddle after or go at it again. Like there's
Yeah,
no-
that's
there's no
important.
sleeping.
Lots of times girls want to again.
Yeah.
And what if, as a guy, I'm not there? Is oral sex, is a guy's mouth or his hand just as good as his
It can be.
penis?
Yeah.
It can be, definitely.
Or even his voice, like the way he can talk to you, like he could seduce you. And if he seduces you, then you're like in the mood.
Yeah.
But if he just expects you to be there, like ready to go, then it's just not gonna happen that way.
Sometimes though.
Yeah,
but
sometimes it does.
Yeah,
but, like,
there's a
if
time and a
you
place.
Really want it, yeah. Or if she says she's tired, even if she says she's tired, she'll still do it if you do it the right way.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And then she'll be doing all the work. You're like, man, this rocks.
I thought you was tired.
Yeah.
No, like a bonus that men need to understand is, okay, say like you're sexing, right? And then you're done and you're tired and you want to relax and she still wants to keep going. Say like if you can't get back up, like do what you can to still please her. Don't just give up and I'm tired and then
And that's what I'm saying. So
leave
what
and-
is do what I can to still please her? Like, what do you think? Like, does that mean I go and buy a toy? Does that mean I get down and get between her, and start orally pleasing her?
Ask
Does-
her,
whatever.
communication.
That's-
Ask her. Say
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey, what do you
definitely
want? Like, what can I do for you? You know, like.
And as a woman, I mean, I think one of the things as guys when we're in sexual, because we feel like we're putting ourselves out there.
Yeah.
So if we finish before you do, which happens I hear from time to time, and we say to you, baby, what do you want to do, or is this cool, or what do you need me to do? Does that take the tension off that moment? Because for us, that's like we're like, tag, like.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, it takes tension. But also, guys need to understand that like we love to make you feel good too. We love it. Like maybe
Because it turns them on.
Yeah, the feeling
Yeah.
of being able to turn a guy on and make him feel amazing is great for
Yeah.
us.
I think
Absolutely,
it's part of the thing. Yeah.
Women too love it.
I guess, one of the things I want to ask is, and we'll kind of go through this, is I want to know, men make stupid mistakes with women all the time. What can a guy do to not be one of those guys?
I think one of the mistakes I think sometimes with guys is when it comes to like dealing with ex-girlfriends and then with the new girlfriend and like that sticky situation of they don't know how to deal with the situation because they don't want to let go of like their friend, which is like their ex, but also the new girl has a huge problem with like the ex and stuff like that. So I think at the end of the day, for them to get out of that like sticky situation would be like for them to meet, because then I think once the girl meets the other girl, it just puts everything at ease. Like I'm with him, you guys are friends. There's obviously nothing going on, so they can see that. And if he's like self-confident that he's like, you know what, I'm with her, we can still be friends.
Yeah.
I think that puts the situation at ease.
I met some girls that I get along that
Yeah, like
that I
same
definitely
here.
get along with.
Right.
But then I've heard some scenarios where like the girls are going at it like insane, and it just puts strain on the guy. And
Right.
it's just it's so dramatic that it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I think a sticky situation that I find a lot are that even the most confident of women, we don't want to hear, save the locker room for when you want to talk about what girls are hot and what girls like you find attractive, like too much. Like obviously, like I said, like I'm confident and I'm happy with who I am, and like I'm not gonna be pissed off if my boyfriend's like, oh, it's Angelina, so fucking. I'm like, yeah, dude, like obviously, you know what I mean, like obviously. But if it's like all the time and certain girls, and that's like it's like just save it. Like talk about what features of this girl that you like so much with your guys. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't go to you about every guy that I find attractive. Like
Right.
we're in a relationship. We're not dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women like. Even if we're in a relationship, we'll still flirt and we'll still,
Right.
you know what
do
I
your
mean?
thing.
Absolutely. And we know you still are too. And I think that's healthy. It's
Yeah.
acting on it that isn't. So it's just like, if anything, it kind of seems insecure when guys like do that. It's like
When
they have
they
to
overdo
prove
it, yeah.
So it's like just be respectful, and like I think it still just comes down to respect and communication. So if he does do that, just know that your girl is really confident, and if you're with them for a reason. So
Okay, my thing is, don't try to be too controlling.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
don't
that's
call
another
me like, oh, where are you? When are you coming home? This one guy, no.
oh my
fuck
gosh,
you.
woo, it happened.
This
Should
one
we get
guy,
there?
like, he had the nerve. Okay, I went out with my girlfriends, right? We went out to a club or whatever. And he called me, and I didn't answer my phone, like, I guess, like 3 times.
Who are you with? What are you doing?
No, it was
freaked
within like 10 minutes. You're calling me 3 times? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then to be like, oh, when I finally answer my phone, I tell him where I'm at. I tell him I'm at a club, and he's like, oh, I didn't give you permission to go.
Whoa.
What? I looked at my phone, I'm like,
no.
talking to me? Talking to you? You talking to me? And then, like, don't do that.
No.
I didn't give
Yeah,
you permission
no.
to go. He got dial tone. He got dial tone.
Yeah, that's bad.
How did I know that?
Had to.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
Wow.
no, but that's the same. Like,
Yeah, that's not
some
cool.
guys, like, it's like, oh, where are you? And it's like, oh, I'm here. That like, they get so insecure. They're like, oh, there are a lot of guys there. Who are you with? What'd you do? You know, or like if you don't call that night, you didn't call me last night. What do you do? It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Or even the checking up the phone like the next day.
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
go out and you're just like,
I thought y'all just did that. You mean do it?
oh my no.
I don't care. I don't
Some
want to
guys
see
are
yourself.
crazy.
That's yours, but it's guys will. Oh my gosh.
We shouldn't even really go to that point.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, see you later.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess my last thing for the 3 of you is this is awesome stuff. 10 words or less. What do you want? What do you need? What do you have to have for a man to be with you?
Self-assured, happy, confident. Just pretty much they have to be happy with their own life, because I find if you're happy with your own life, it's just you let things go and you almost let the other person do their own thing.
It's easy to fall in
It's
love with
easy.
someone like that.
Yeah, it's so much easier. That's when
If
it's
you're in
not
love with
working.
if you're in love with yourself without conceit, like
Yeah.
you know what
Right.
I mean. If there's respect
Genuine
for yourself,
love, right?
Yeah.
then people will fall in love with you too.
The way I see it, there's only like 3 things to make a relationship work.
Oh, it's simple.
There's only 3.
Wow,
There's only 3.
All right, let's go.
1, you need to be willing to communicate.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
2, there has to be respect. You need to show each other respect at all times.
Okay.
And 3, there has to be trust.
Yeah.
Trust. If I can't trust you, you can't trust me. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's what it
And love and relationships and dating, it's supposed to be fun, you know? It's not supposed to be
Yeah.
stressful. Don't go for the girls that are all about drama and are going to be bitchy about everything. Get a girl who's fun and who, you know, will have
Who
fun
already has a
with
life of
you.
her own too. 'Cause then
Right.
it's much easier. Then they
It's-
become needy if they don't have
just
their own life.
relax, have fun, and it's the best part. Enjoy it.
Wow.
What got us in the beginning to work, that spark, you need to always keep that alive. Like, you can't be like trying to see me and call me and then all of a sudden that stops. You need to always keep me interested.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Well, that's like everybody
Communication,
has their
trust,
own whole
respect,
life.
consistency.
Like the guy has their own life and then the girl has their own life, but when they connect, that's when it's like good because they both have their individual life. You
There's
know?
a Buddhist
They don't-
saying that is the perfect 2 lovers are 2 independent people
Yes.
in love individually, side by side.
Right. Well,
And you really need that.
Yep.
I like that. Well, Roxanne, Talia, Veronica, thank you very much for letting me get inside of your heads and
Hey.
giving us some great information to work with. And I promise I'm going to brush.
Great.
That's always good.
Take care.